previously, I baled and wrapped all of my grass and then immediately sold it, not realizing that bales of silage now take a little bit of time to process, so I lost money on that. A little bit sad, but it's fine. You live and learn. So I sold it as grass instead of silage. It's fine, it's fine, whatever. So we now have a field of barley growing here. And then we have 2 fields that need planting. And I was gonna wait until soybean season so I can start planting that. So I need to wait another month or 2. We are in January. Do I have anything to sell in January? Barley is January, but I need that from my chickens. I don't think I have. I have eggs and I have honey, unless I loaded those up. I loaded up the eggs last time. So I have honey. I have lots of honey. What time of the year is honey? March. March. It's probably good. Okay. So I think it's time to zoom. I don't think I have anything else to do at the moment. Chickens are fed-ish. Bees are being. I think we're good to speed up time a little bit. Here's my new trailer that I have not done anything with yet. I'm up here now. Good. Alright. We're zooming. I'm pretty sure I'm ready to zoom. Hang on. Is that weeds? Ah, that's right. So I got weeds that came through and grew faster than I expected. I was able to pull out some of the weeds, but not all of the weeds. And I don't have a hoe to pull my weeds. So, let's take a quick look at the price on that hoe. Weeders. So this is the only hoe style weeding that is available. All the rest are the little tine rake things. This is the one I've got. This is the hoe style. It requires 140 horsepower, which I believe I have. 170, yes, I have. So I could potentially trade in my regular weeder for a hoe. And I think I might need to do that only because I want to stay as green as I can, with as few chemicals and whatnot as possible. So I think if I get this hoe, that will help. It's expensive though. Wouldn't happen to be a hoe in here, would there? No, but there's tractors. I like tractors. 75 horsepower tractor and a 435 horsepower tractor. That's actually a really good deal on a big ass tractor, but I can't afford it right now, so I'm not going to get it right now. So I'm going to go with the weeder trade-in because I have one, and if I have a hoe, then I can deal with beefier weeds. I do lose the option to plant oilseed radish, but that's fine. I have another seeder, so I can survive just fine. Okay, so let's go do that. I'm gonna get you. It's all of my money. It's fine. It'll help in the long run. And then I need tractor. Oh, that's right. I suppose I can go to my my wheel management, couldn't I? Wheel time. Could have done this earlier in the multiplayer, but I forgot. Okay. So, I need to go grab that weeder, which is, of course, on that tractor. For the moment. It fits, right? It fits. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It fits. A little basement garage for this tractor. Probably should not have done this weeder change out, but I will accept the loss so that I can have a weeder that can deal with beefier weeds in the future. Oh, I suppose I can unload this. This will be the first time I've used this hoe. It'll be a bit different. Alright, repair, repaint, sell. Got 14,000 back from it, so not bad. Going to immediately go use this on that field and get the weeds removed so that we have the best return. It's probably not going to be worth the 50 grand I bought this weeder for, but it's fine. I technically bought this weeder for 35 grand, somewhere in there, because I was able to trade in the other one for a decent return. So it's not that bad, it just wasn't great. I don't think I had the money to get this one in the first place, though, so it's fine. I basically spent, let's see, I spent about 3,500 borrowing this weeder. So even though it's not quite a lease, it might as well have been. I was doing some math on the leasing. The leasing is not terrible. It's not great though. So the leasing prices here, base cost 900 plus 450 a day, and then also $945 per working hour. So it's $22.95 to lease it to start off with, which is, I believe, 5%. I believe it's a 5% initial leasing cost, and then it's another 1% per day, give or take. So depending on how often you're going to use it, the leasing can potentially be beneficial. But as we saw with my selling this piece of equipment, you don't necessarily lose a whole bunch by buying if you end up reselling. Oh, he's got bigger wingspan than I expected. We don't have the thing on this one. Okay. Nope. Alright, let's do the thing. Whoops. Ran into stuff. Alright, so if I go in here and go in here, we can see that I'm removing that extra weeds. which is good. That's what I wanted. Good. I'll remove the stone marker for now. Okay, so I need to go here. And I can kind of sort of see where the weeds are. They're just barely a different color. Okay, so this is the last bit of weeds in this field. We did the thing. The thing was did successfully. And hopefully this weeder will not be a total burden on my finances. We'll see. So where are we at? So 47. I bought that one last time. I don't think I've done anything with it yet. Fertilized. Does not need mulching, or does not need plowing, does not need weeding. It's been mulched. It will need rolling. What do I have planted in there? Nothing. Nothing. So 47 is also probably going to do a big round of soybeans in all of these. So I think we need to now zoom forward to the next month. Or two. So let's do that. So we're now in February. We have cotton to plant, but that's not gonna happen. We have nothing else to do in February. I think I just need to get out and check the chickens. Make sure they're good. Honey's doing fine. Chickens are doing fine. They have stuff. Let's take a peek at their animal thing here. Okay. So we've got... We have 5 chickens at 22 months, and we have 24 chickens at 16 months. Everything seems fine. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Everything's good. Did this field get fully fertilized? I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah, 100% fertilized. 98% yield bonus. So we're good. I think the only thing left to do is check the prices of things. Oh, I really want to get one of these at some point. This is just a beast of a trailer. I don't think it has any tipping capacity, although it might. But primarily it is a 211,000 liter trailer that is meant as an overloading trailer for large harvests. But it's so beastly. I want it. I don't remember this being in earlier versions. There were other versions that were kind of sort of big, It's so friggin' big. It's a friggin' 18-wheeler on its own. I want it though. It's so good. This would be nice, but I can't, so that's fine. Yeah, can't afford anything, so I don't know why I'm looking in here. There was gonna be another thing I was gonna look at, but I forgot what I was gonna look at. Oh, let's check out the honey prices. Honey prices are at 3,200 and climbing. Supposedly March is the better month. So supposedly this is going to get higher. So 32.42, we'll see what happens in March. I think I don't have anything else to do. I think we're fine. Yeah, I think we're fine. Zoom. Alright, I'm gonna check the price. Honey is still going up. We're good. Yeah, honey prices. Definitely good. And since I don't have anything else to do in March, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna zoom time a bit and see if we can figure out when honey is gonna be best. Because I literally have nothing else to do in March, so selling honey is my goal. We're at 34.13. We have peaked out at 34.54. So let's drop that down. 34.56. Whatever, it's fine. We'll count that as my prime honey loading time. And I need a trailer that I can put honey on. I don't know if this is gonna be good. Let's find out. I need a tractor. Because I have so much honey. Yeah, that trailer should be good. I keep forgetting I can put it on the sides. Yeah, we'll be fine. Alright, we're gonna grab this one first, and I don't know, I really wish that there was information on the beehives to tell you how much honey is still remaining, because it would be really niceful. It would be really nice to know if there was more than a pallet waiting there. But apparently that's not some information that we're gonna get. We're not allowed. Okay, so question is, can I fit two side by side? And I think the answer is yes. Yes, I can. And can I put these up? Yes, I can. Alright, let's get honey loaded. Alright, so that's not quite cooperating. Alright, we're not putting the sides up. I would love to be able to do this by forklift, but unfortunately, I can't afford one. So I'm just gonna have to use my big, strong farm hands until I can afford something along the lines of a forklift. Whoop. Did not intend to lift the trailer itself. That was too much use of big, strong farm hands. Alright, so I cannot fit that in there. Got it. What if I did that instead? I lost it. I lost it. Okay. So all of the honey is loaded up, and we are going to Johnson's Farmer Market. That away. Right, I forgot I can't turn on cruise control while I'm still using the pedal. It does not work. Farmer's Market is that way, right roughly where my mirror is. Oh, no, it was roughly where the side beam was. Okay. Go. Selling my first batch of honey. Honey not accepted here. Alright, that means it's probably that little trailer icon directly next to it. Yeah, there we go. Hooray! $16,500 in honey. Good, good. So I do believe that was the only thing I had going for me in March. April is when we plant the soybeans, so I think we just zoom straight ahead to April and get that planting started. Do I have a roller? I guess I don't I don't remember if I looked for a roller. Oh god, this thing is on sale here too. Oh god. It's so expensive though. No, that's fine. Do I have a roller? I have disc harrow, mulcher. I do not have a roller. Okay. Probably can afford a small roller. But we'll look at that when April comes around. So I think I have sold everything that I have that needed to be sold. I sold the eggs last time, I sold the straw and the silage last time. I sold, I think, the canola, and I don't remember if I had wheat or not to sell, but I sold whatever's left. All I have left is barley, I believe, which we're feeding to the chickens. Which reminds me, I should probably attempt to feed the chickens. So we're going to use this to feed the chickens, because they probably need it. I think they're probably down to like 300 liters or something like that. 287, perfect. So yeah, we gotta feed the chickens. It's in my way. Alright, we're gonna drag this trailer out of the way. You have nothing in you, right? Yeah. Boo. Alright, fine. Come on. 20. Fine. I'll drive better this time, I swear. There we go. Barley. Start. That's fine. I only needed a few liters. Okay. They don't take much. There's not a lot of chickens there. Not a lot of chicken there. Oops. Alright, I think it's time to zoom till April, I believe. Double checking, mentally. Everything's fine. Can we afford a roller? Roller. Can afford a cheap roller. Yeah, any of these will be fine. Alright. So let's zoom to April. Watch the silly moon in the sky. We have a lovely rainy April morning. Delightful. So, since we are in April now, soybeans are now in planting season. That's what we're aiming for. So let me go get the seeder. Need to shuffle you out of the way. Switch you to soybeans. And I shall pick up this little tiny box right here. Perfect. Okay. So, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to plant the big field behind me. Double check everything. Yep, this is ready to plant. So we're going to turn it on. We're going to start the planting, and we're going to throw it on a worker so that I can BRB. Hello, I return. Sorry that took so long, but I'm here, and the worker has continued doing just fine. All right. Well, while that happens, I'm going to shop for a roller so we can get the most out of everything. I almost said the mulch out of everything because I was looking at that at the time. So, rollers. This does not tell me how big it is. It also looks a little bit funky. I might remove that one. Ah, that's right. This is the one where you could potentially drag behind multiple rollers. It's cheap. It might be worth doing. This is a 3 meter working width. I think this is also 3 meter. Might be a little bit smaller. I'm not positive. It doesn't list it for whatever reason. And then this is a 6 meter. And this is a 6.4 meter. Okay. So, let's try the cheap roller. And let's try 3 of them together. Buy. And we don't need extenders on these. Good. Let me go jump in the other tractor. And we'll go pick that up. Deal with the honey situation. Actually, I already forgot what price I sold the honey at. I probably should have paid attention to that. So, what's the price of honey right now? Still decent. Not maxed, but still decent. It is going to start tanking though, so we might just need to save it until next year. We'll have plenty of honey by then. I like the rain. So way back in my FS19 days, we played, what, like 400 hours or something on the same map? Never once did it rain. I'm pretty sure the weather was bugged. I know it was possible to rain, but we never got anything other than a slightly cloudy day in many, many, many hours on that map. So I don't know exactly what's up with that, but I'm happy to see weather. I'm happy to see some variation. I like it. Alright, this might be a little bit tricky to line up. I might just end up moving them by hand, because it just might be easier that way. So ideally these are supposed to go there and there, but I think for transport we'll put them like so and drag them all behind. There we go. Looks like it's working just fine. And this will be a nice cheap rolling option until I choose to get a more beefier roller. Cruising right along now, and they seem just fine. Here's hoping that these are the rollers that are needed for the new rolling mechanic, and not like grass rollers. It wasn't very clear, and these specifically were not very descriptive. So we'll have to see what they pan out to be, because its description says front loaders are used to stack and load various goods. So whoever made this mod, bless their little hearts, did not put all the detail in to make them fully functional within the game. So we're just going to have to try this out and see how it goes. I guess I could just roll across the field and see if it handles the rolling state. So let's roll across the field. We're just rolling. We're rolling. That looks like it's rolling. Looks like it's rolling just fine. Yep, it's doing the rolling just fine. Alright, cool. That did not roll grass though. Good. I do know that there's no lifting or raising or anything. Or is there? No, there's no raising or lowering or lifting or anything. So these are very simplistic. They're just chunks of metal. It's fine. They're gonna do the job just fine. All right, so I need to detach you. I need to detach you. Nope. I need to detach you. Drive forward. Detach you. There we go. Alright, so you go over there. And you go right there. Perfect. And we're making a lovely, lovely little... I see. Also, the worker doesn't know how to handle this job. So I'm doing it by hand. So before I do that by hand then, we're going to jump over into this tractor, since it just finished. And we're gonna go set this up over at the other field and get that moving. Carry on. Alright, we're doing this. And you are handling the rolling just fine, right? Yeah, handling the rolling just fine. Good, good. I like them. They fit with the older theme that I'm going with this farm until we can start moving up to more modern equipment. They overlap a little bit with each other, which is fine because that makes it a little bit easier not to miss certain parts. See if it catches that. Yeah, there we go. And I think I'm not going to try as hard to do the sharp turns. We're just going to do stripes. Stripes will be fine. Oh no, I missed some. Horrible. I'll have to come back for that. I was too busy taking screenshots and I wasn't paying attention to my farm. I'm a horrible farmer. Oh jeez. Those things swing out full speed if you hit them. I didn't realize that they were just gonna full drift on me. Once I get to the end here, I will double check just to make sure everything got done right. Like I don't think that got done right. I think that was a spot of oilseed radish, perhaps. Yeah, that's what that looks like. So let's see, crop types. I mean, it says we're all soybeans, except for that tiny little bit right there. Looks like I missed that at some point. Yeah. Oh well, it's fine. Howdy RK, how you doing? Nope, I'm gonna miss it. Alright, we'll just hit the stripe as we go. It'll be fine. Yes, indeed. Happy New Year. Really? Really, me? Why did I do that? Oh well. We got some bits and pieces to fix up in this field. That's fine. But we have a lovely rolled field, so this is wonderful. It's got a couple rocks in it. It's got a couple rocks, but we'll deal with that later. Alright, get you, and then we'll come in through here. And I'm messing up my pretty field by doing all sorts of weird stripes, but it's fine. Yes, we are rolling where no roll has ever rolled before. Alright. The only trick with these rolls... Nameless Mocha, thank you for that raid. I appreciate it. Hello, everybody. Hello, welcome. Yeah, these rollers are nice, but they don't have a lift up and down, so they are what they are. And that means I can't drive very fast with them because I can't lift them up to reduce their contact with the ground or anything. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, I need to get lined up here. Then I need to go set this worker up to seed the other field. Let's start on the chicken side so it has free reign. I think I will move it past the chickens just so that the worker doesn't go dumb or something on me, because the workers tend to go dumb. Okay. Carry on, sir. Now we roll this field. I would love to roll behind that worker, but I don't think... I'd have to wait for him to get at least halfway done for that to work. Oh, sorry about that, Nameless. Unfortunately, all the various spam bots around lately kind of forced my hand on that, but hello, welcome. I'm glad you were able to verify your account.
I'm watching you, newcomer.
Emiliano, thank you for that follow. Appreciate it. Mukenzie, appreciate your follow as well. And Nameless Mocha, you as well. Hello everybody, hello, welcome. Oh god, and the button's already being pushed. Oh god, hang on. Oh god, noises. Thornhammer, thank you for that follow as well. Oh god. If you wish, Moo. Hello, welcome. Alright, back to rolling. I like these modded rollers. They're nice. They're definitely nice fitting with the older machinery on this farm that I've got. I don't quite have all old machinery because there's just not a lot of older machinery available modded yet, but we're getting there.
Newcomer.
Dozer, thank you for that follow as well. Appreciate all of you. So it mostly started off as, what can I actually afford? And the answer to that was mostly older machinery. So I'm doing it, and I'm enjoying it. But there's only so many mods available on ModHub. And unfortunately, I don't want to go to non-official sites. So that kind of limits my options for modded machinery. But right now, we just got a bunch of trailed, rusty rollers that we're using for our seed rolling. And that's working out just fine. And of course we have this older style tractor as well. And I have a 90s-ish tractor behind me in the red. Yeah, hopefully everyone from the raid has verified accounts. I keep forgetting that's a thing. Verified accounts just kind of became a major important factor when we had the huge bot spam problem in Twitch. Alright, tell you what. I'll get that stripe on the way back. We're gonna do this. We're just gonna stripe right behind this guy. Rusty Roller's twin. Big name in town. You can hear him coming from a mile away. You do indeed, Thor. Hello, welcome. We'll let that go for a moment here. Now I gotta make my way back again, so I guess it didn't matter which way I did this. But it's fine. Alright, I'll line up with that stripe right there. Worker's going to be done seeding in a moment, so this is good. Looks like my chickens are fine-ish. My honey is fine. Everything seems fine. Alright, and halfway done with my final field, and then we'll be done with a full soybean harvest, or soybean planting. And then, I think we'll just be speeding up time a little bit till we have to start taking care of these things. I think we'll be good soon enough here. Did that get planted? Probably should check, just to make sure. Did that get planted? Hang on, am I doing all this rolling for nothing? I turned off my soybeans. Okay. Oh, I need to move this guy out of the way. He's in the way. This is FS22, the one that came out somewhat recently. So we're in modern ages. And I just realized I've had my HUD off for a while now while I was taking screenshots earlier. But it's fine. It's immersive. We're doing good. Leave you there, it's fine. Okay. Let's finish rolling this field. And then we'll double check the field, make sure everything's good. I think we'll be fine. I'm happy with my rusty roller purchase. No idea where I'm going to park it. Not a clue. Alright, let's see. So, we've got 45, 6, and 7 now all planted with soybeans. They are growing. They have no weeds. They've been fully fertilized. They do not need plowing or lime. They do not need rolling, which means the rolling's been done. They've been mulched. Those fields are looking fantastic, and I don't need to touch them unless weeds show up. So let's get this thing situated. I need to get my UI back again finally, so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, so detach, and then I need to get you out of the way a little bit, and then nope, I need to detach that one. Get these lined up so that they're in a row. There we go. Okay, again, no idea where I'm going to put them, because I can't easily reverse them anywhere. I guess I could park them in the barn. That could be fine. I mean, ideally, they would be out of the way, so how about we detach, and detach, and then we'll just use our our burly farmer arms to park these under here. I missed. There we go. There. Okay, so my barley field is going just nicely. Doing great. My soybeans have all been planted. We have a lovely rainy day, and I don't think I have anything else left to do on the farm. So I think it's ready for the next month. I have nothing else to sell. I have nothing else to worry about. I think I'm just free and clear. Oh yes. I am Burly Farmer Man. I have been benching all of the rusted steel. So everything's good. I did not remember, or rather, I didn't have the means to roll my barley after I planted it, so that still needs rolling. That's fine. Everything else is good. We're good. We're good. Time to zoom. A little bit later in the day. There we go. Rusty Roller's twin. Burly Park comes with the territory. Oh, yes. Alright, what do we have here? We have... So this is the second time this has happened, and I don't know exactly what's causing this, but my weeds are coming in at the second stage of weed growth. So I needed that hoe, which is good, because I now have the hoe, and I can deal with them. I just don't know why they're coming in at medium strength. That could be related to my method of plowing or my method of seeding or something like that, but it's fine. I will survive. Barley's doing good. Is it really weed in every single one of these fields? It is indeed. Cool. Alright. So I need this tractor, and I need my weeder. Good thing I invested in this weeder, because I apparently am going to need a lot of it. Alright, let's get started. And I do have crop destruction enabled, but I also have narrow tires on this tractor, so we're good. Don't worry about it. Everything's fine. Let's do right here. Debating on merging these fields together. It's kind of nice to have that natural separation of the road, but I don't necessarily need it. And the grass that's in between is not worth mentioning. So maybe we'll do that next time I get this crop harvested. Let's see, where am I? Let me go over just a little bit more. That'll do. gonna miss a row, aren't I? Here, let's fix that before it becomes a problem. There we go. I missed some, didn't I? I missed some. Let's go fix that. There we go. Ah. Well, that's a new banister I'll need to build. Interesting how they have these weeds set up. Every once in a while there's a weed that's well into the grass there. Like you can see these couple coming up on the left. They're well into the grass, but they're being removed as I'm going over the center. I wonder if their planting location is a little bit off from where they should be. Fascinating. I missed another couple. Boo. Let's go fix that. Yes, the farm folks is looking very nice, looking very promising. It is delightful to see the progress. It's drastically different than it was before, and it's changed multiple times since I've been a part of that group. So I'm not expecting it to stay the same. Actually, can I hit this whole bit? Let's see if I can hit this whole bit. They are trying really hard to promise everything that has been promised before will be delivered. They haven't quite gotten a handle on the planning of it all yet, but they are aware of the passion in the community, and they're aware of the challenges that have happened before, and they want to continue fulfilling as best as they possibly can. And I've had a couple discussions with Creativo guys directly, and they do seem passionate about it, and they want it to succeed. So I'm hopeful. All right, might as well finish destroying that banister, I guess. Oh yeah, I did not go for the Unicow plushie, but I did go for one of the other small add-on plushies that they did. I don't remember which one it was. It's been a long time. So we'll see how they manage to do the plushies. My only real experience with Creativo outside of Farm Folks is I backed the Universe Sim ages ago. And I got some of their physical rewards quite a long time ago, and I still have that stuff laying around somewhere. So they can fulfill physical rewards. I know that for a fact. So I don't have too much concern with that regard. Now we gotta go do this field. Because this field is also destroyed with weeds. You got 6 keys total. That's impressive. I did not do 6, but I think I'm on 3, I think. Because I had bought 1 originally through Humble when that was available, and then I backed at 2 more keys on Kickstarter. Which I fully plan on giving away on stream at some point or another. Either on stream or through my Discord. Did you know that I gave away almost over 100 games this year for the holiday season? And I did about that much last year as well. Howdy, Smooth Agent. Welcome. How did I miss those? How did I miss those? Whatever. I'll go back to them. Yep. Humble sub is one way that I've gotten a bunch of keys. I tend to buy a lot of bundles, especially if there's a game I want. I'll buy the bundle for the one game because it's still cheaper than buying it at retail. And then I'll pack away all of the other various games for giveaway later. Every once in a while I'll just buy a bundle because it's got a bunch of great games in it that I want to give away at some point. But yeah, I was impressed to look at my list. Let's I'll get to my end of line here just so I don't mess myself up. I want to look at what my total number of giveaways was for the last 2 years. The answer is 124. 224, sorry. 224 games given away in the last 2 years, 2 holiday seasons. I'm pretty proud of that. Forget the giveaways. Tell us that secret of your luxurious hair. The secret is never get it cut. I stopped cutting my hair at age 15, thereabouts. Or rather, stop getting regular haircuts. Once you get to a point where it's long enough that you're okay with it, then you can start chopping off bits off the end, but don't cut it. That's the big key if you want long hair. I know that seems kind of obvious, but Green Man had a bundle, $50 for $800 in games. Yeah, very nice. I haven't done the Green Man bundle, but I have done the Yogscast charity bundle, whatever the hell that's called. They used to do it on Humble, but they moved to a different site for the last couple of years. I picked that one up a couple times. Obviously, Smooth Agent, for the luxurious hair. Obviously. I mean, I wouldn't have it any other way. Yeah, humble sub is a nice thing. And there's usually at least a couple really good games and a couple that are pretty decent that you might have otherwise not heard of. Oops, kill the sign. I did not mean to kill that sign. That sign's been deaded. Chaos, you expect something different than talk of my luxurious hair? The hair has been let free a couple times. It doesn't come out too terribly often, mainly because it's kind of a pain to work with the headphones. But every once in a while. Yes, Epic, I have not paid them a dime. I don't even have my credit card on their account, but I have at least 200 to 300 games. Their desire to make people love them has been working out in my favor. Okay, weeds done. Weeds are done. Stardew Valley stream. I've already done that. I did Stardew Valley ages ago. Nah, I've already played through Stardew 2 or 3 times, if not more. I don't remember anymore. I'm not interested in doing it anymore. I've done it more than enough. Is that grass ready to cut? That grass looks to be ready to cut. It might be grass cutting time. Mr. Stardew Valley. Nice. Ah, yes, the mixer days. Yep, we're gonna start up Lawnmower Simulator here. Although I am kind of tired of mowing the really awkward grass. It's worth it. I get a good few $1,000s out of it. Let's try the mowing, but let's do the baler and do it properly this time. Because last time I did not do the baler properly, and I ended up selling what was essentially $7,000 to $8,000 worth of grass for nothing because I forgot to wait for it to ferment because I'm dumb. So let's do it properly. Let's drive properly this time, shall we? There we go. There we go. Doing things properly. I didn't sign up for this. Well, that's what you're gonna get. Because doing it improperly is the normal way to do things these days. So we're gonna do it properly and just throw everything out the window. I wonder if it would be better for my sanity if I just did one tool at a time. A 30-minute speed run for the new Halo game. I mean, I don't care about speedrunners, honestly, because speedrunners tend to do weird-ass glitchy tricks. That means you're not really actually playing the game. So I wouldn't take a 30-minute speed run for gospel. Alright, we're just going to start here and see if this works. If I can do this without doing any windrowing. And I think the answer is I can. I can. However, it is not very maneuverable. So that's a minor challenge. Yeah, not maneuverable at all. So let's do this. We'll lower it. We'll mow this away. So we'll do it this way, which will pick up like 90-ish% of it, and then we'll go do another pass with just the baler. And then it'll be fine. Alright, that's gonna get dumped now. And I'll just wait for this one to finish wrapping and dump that one here too. So these have a 0% fermentation on them, which means that's what I did wrong last time. Was I totally failed on the baling. Let's carry on. Yeah, fancy baler. It bales it and wraps it for silage all in one shot. I like it. Oop, I went too far. Went too far. Ah! I poked it up. There we go. Okay. So you can unload. Give me your next bale, please. Gonna wait for that one to wrap and unload here as well. Good, good. Okay. Now we can carry on with this job. And since I have the baler trailing behind me, it's a lot easier to pick up some of this stuff. That's kind of nice. I don't think I'm actually getting anything out of it, but, you know, whatever. Alright, let's see about picking up some of this stuff. That didn't work, because I didn't aim. Turns out, you have to aim to pick up the stuff that you're aiming for. Go figure. There we go. I think this is as close as I can get to the edge. I am sorry to disappoint with all of my properly speak. Alright, let's lift this guy up so I stop mowing. Thank you, Chaos. Pick up that. And pick up that. So here, we can put it back down, and we can get this little strip. Bonk. Pick up GTA Definitive Trilogy. Start replaying. I don't honestly remember much about those three games. I was debating on getting the definitive at some point or another. fit through here without a problem? No, is the answer to that. No, I cannot fit through here without a problem, but we're doing it anyway. Because I was told to stop doing things properly. I remember enjoying the radio in one of them. I don't remember if it was Vice City or if it was number 3, I think. I don't remember. I don't remember the GTA, the earlier GTAs. That probably is the one that I like, honestly. If it helps you at all, Chaos, I think you can get the remastered GTA collection for PC. Pretty sure you can. Going for a joke. What's that? Okay. So I'm done. I'm done mowing as much as I care to mow. So I'm going to off, fold, and drop it. And then we're going to attempt to pick up all the bits I missed. Oh, I know. Damn copyright issues. That's one of my least favorite parts about streaming is that if a game has a fantastic soundtrack, there is a damn good chance that I'm not allowed to play it. Because music rights holders are dicks. That one's... I think this is all clean. I think I have a spot in the far corner over there. So we're gonna go that way. Might be a little bit here. Yeah, there's a little bit here. Done. Not entirely sure I can even pick up the spot in the corner. We'll see. Hey, it looks like I can. Good. Good, good. Okay. So, this baler can go back. We got 6 bales, actually, which is really nice. I just need to go pick them all up now. Nope, that's not how you back up a trailer. That's still not how you back up a trailer. Right, exactly. Yeah, if the game itself is the cause of the music, that should count for the copyright needs. I missed a whole bit there, but that's fine. Next time Mel will pick it up. So I need bale trailer. But as I said, music rights holders are dicks. My beard has to be copyrighted. I'm positive of that. Those don't entirely fit in there, but it's fine. There was a time in my young life where I did look a lot more Jesus-esque. A little bit of Jesus, a little bit of John Lennon. Yep, we are Hercules lifting those bales. Speaking of that, I need to do the honey as well. Alright, actually I'm just gonna put those right over here, so I don't need to do that. So these are 620 kilograms each. So we are definitely Hercules lifting these bales. One of these days I will have equipment that lets me actually handle things properly instead of cheesing it like that. But alas, today is not that day. There we go. So all these need to ferment. I think it just takes a month to ferment, but I'm not positive. I pick things up and put them down. That is exactly how I do. Okay. So, where are we at? We're late. It's a little bit late in the day. Alright. So, as is pretty common with these streams of my solo game, I end up finishing the night with grass baling. And I think that's got to be it. I missed a whole stripe here. Ugh. Horrible at mowing. But yeah, this is more just to make use of some of my extra land and turn it into money. So this is what, 3,500 per bale. So that makes numbers? Numbers. I can't number right now. 7,000. So 21,000 liters. I think. 21,000 liters. I'm gonna go with that as my final number. And that is silage, so give or take $500 or $600 per 1,000 liters. So that's going to come out to over $10,000. So definitely worth doing, but also would be worth doing if I had an entire field dedicated to grass. So that I think would be something really worth doing at some point. Maybe this field would be good, but I gotta buy these, and both of these are out of my reach currently. So I gotta work up to that. Otherwise, I could convert 47 into a grass field, but I don't know. Haven't decided yet. Either way, we gotta work up to own these two as well. Although 50 might be worth buying instead, because it's a long straight field. And it's just about the same price as both of these two put together. And 50 would be a hell of a lot easier to work with. So maybe 50. So there's a map that's actually dedicated to grass. So the map is roughly this size, and more than half of the map is just grass. I don't know why they did it, but they did. But it's like steep rolling grass fields, so they're really difficult to work on. I don't know how to handle that one. But yeah, alright. So that will be it for tonight. We have barley on the way. We have soybeans fully planted and in the process of growing. And we probably have one more grass harvest before the soybeans are ready. So, next time, whenever I manage to play this again, looking like my schedule's going to be tight for the next week or two here, we'll do all that stuff. So, RK, Smooth Agent, Chaos, anyone else still lurking out there, thank y'all for coming. Thank you for any subs and follows that I might have missed, and I will see y'all next time. Bye.